Now I'm here to take up the slack. Can't you see slacking out? You're gonna do that thing you're doing here. Or you're just undoing it, or you're getting ready to. No. But as far as the Mormons go and the belief, and as well as any religion, Baptist, Methodist, Catholicism, whatever the name, it doesn't really matter because we're all talking about one thing. We all should be thinking about one thing, and where that comes from. But are they? When you throw in a tax dollar free, donations, well, minds can be swayed and bought like lobbyists. They're lobbying the churches to keep things from us. Can you imagine that? But the killings that they've offered, the killings that have been done, and the murdering, the rapist, there need to be an absolute age on women, when they become, young women, to like what they would be like, the breeding years, to have children. But, these women, what they're using are like too young to do anything like that. Their bodies are not, they're capable, but they're really incapable of the adult form of that kind of satisfaction. So this is totally illegal, and that's totally wrong. So as well with all this, when the breakup of these Muslims, there's a lot of women that have that kind of a feeling, that love and that caringness, and to think about her man, yeah. For to share that. But it's in love and a God's feeling. How everybody takes care of each other, So there's going to be all these extra women around here like surplus. And they, it's a shame to just leave them hanging out and give them some kind of something, take them into your home. And have more wives. And just like dividing up the spoils, I guess, as Muhammad would have said. Men were just dividing up the spoils. I have all mine, and this, because of your aid and what you have done, this is all your spoils. We can all share. Yeah. Don't you know he said that? Wow, where could all those thoughts go and be to, Wow. Just waves of energy, It's like we're getting in a place where we're being hit by a piercing energy, penetrating energy. And it just goes right through. And these things, I think the last I've heard they were called neutrinos. They blast right through the earth. Like there's nothing there. We don't exist to this neutrino. Wow. Where is that piece of a planet come from? Neutrino. Wouldn't you like to live there? Wow. Geez, but it's so tiny. And boy, here we think everything big is great, but it's so tiny. But then I try to think and hope for maybe it's like a piece, like as we're passing through, and the collisions and stuff, maybe this is coming back again. And it depends on the concentration of these neutrinos. So if those scientists would compare notes to when they first discoveries up until right now discoveries, we would like to hear those, because they could be picking up in storage. And what's to do with those neutrinos? So much to do. I need 4 or 5 extra hands around here, because I have to play golf. I can even teach Obama. That poor guy. He has to do things that they tell him. Or you know what? He has ways of getting out other things. And what are those things from his self? That he thinks in a clear mind, being a Christian in the highest regard. Because, they've murdered too in the past. But this is in the past. It's not to be brought up again, because it's in the past. And it gets to a point where it just doesn't matter. Could you go out there and, jeez. Boy. I think that bird's got ADH or whatever that stuff is, that kids are supposed to have. That bird's got it. When there's no one telling him what to do. There's no one telling them what to do. These are warriors. ADH, give them some pills and give them sedated down. Oh my God, these are warriors. They need to be taught in the ways of the Lord. And as we live in our creation and loving in this creation, that anyone not loving and wanting to commit murder, mass murder, has got to be, it can be, is only one thing that can be, and that's against, God's creation. And it's evil. That's like fallen. That's like something we don't even want to be, see, or think about. So, I think I'll take my brides and seeds to be, and we'll drive, and we'll be on neutrino. I'll be a neutrinian. Yeah. Oh. Incoming call. Imagine that. But to be on that neutrino, feeling that neutrino, and there are neutrinos, and you think about them, and why not? That's like fast speeding. Fast. Faster than fast. Light cannot pass through a solid object. It gets blocked. A neutrino can right through. It's like it's not even there. And what if this whole thing, this whole mass of all that there is we're inside of one of those neutrinos? We are what making it live, as life gives within itself, as the earth can recombine and realign. It's coming. It'll come to worse. But when the leveling's off, you know. Well, we don't want that. Nobody wants that. I'm not saying because I would. I won't. I wouldn't. But like the earth, sinkholes that it has, sinkholes that it has, and sinkholes that it has, and sinkholes that it has. Imagine those sinkholes. And once was ice encrusted, and the sinkhole sunk in. The sinkhole sunk in. Sinkhole sunk in. And this is taking, how long would it take? Maybe there's a rash of sinkholeans attacking or something, and that all these sinkholes formed the oceans. They formed a sinkhole so that would hold the oceans of water that are on the earth. And there's a balance within there. And we've been disrupting the balance by pumping out the oil. It's creating problems. And that needs to be stopped. Sorry, petroleum, but you're overdone. If you haven't got something to advance right now on, well, it's the end of you. So I wouldn't buy any new cars. Just so many avenues. I come to grips, with things I say, and I can go back and read and listen to, and it just goes on that way, It's just not seeing that on this earth, inside this neutrino. But if we don't stop what we're doing, there are going to continually be more sinkholes coming. And every sinkhole gets filled up with water, eventually becoming the floor of some pond, a lake, reservoir, sea, into the oceans. So what would you stop doing right now in order to stop the future process of that? But there is still damage being balanced right now because of, there's nothing we can do to stop that rumble, that roar, that earthquake. But up to the moment like now, we stop drilling, pumping oil. And we need to be giving something back. And I think the Islamists are so high-powered in all their dreams that they could go to Hawaii and start getting in to the lava domes and just keep pouring into the lava domes until it's like the front line of an army. You're going to die. That's just the way it is. That you got to go. You're going to be taken down, fighting for the cause that is right in your mind. Because it's like, wow, then we're all united. So what are we really fighting for? You got to take care of life on this creation inside of this neutrino that can pass right through a body like I'm going to write this down too, because this is just what I do. But this time I'm just going to go ahead and send a video first. Peace out. I bid adieu until I see you again.